Awesome. Once again, I am Abubakar, senior developer advocate at Kubernetes. The name might not be familiar. Kubernetes is different. Kubernetes is different. Basically, what we do. Nice one. No, this is for streaming. Okay. Yeah. At Kubernetes, what we do is to help companies automate the management of their Kubernetes clusters. Not just one cluster, maybe companies that run like 20, 50, 100 clusters at a time. I'm also a good developer expert and cloud instructor for cloud at Alt School. Now, I have a problem. Most of us deal with procrastination. To be honest, I, I've known about this talk I'm supposed to give here more than almost 5 months ago. But it was on a plane yesterday that I started taking notes on, the things I will talk about. Let me take notes. And at 11 p.m., when I got to the hotel yesterday, I only had 2 slides ready. First 2 slides. So I will go do, and I have to sleep so that I don't wake up late. I'll probably miss my session. I finished my slide around 7:30 a.m. this morning. Now, the reason why I'm saying is I can't call it chronic procrastinator, but I procrastinate a lot. And one thing that does to you is you tend to be a last minute person for almost everything. And I've kind of found a problem to this. I've tried a lot of things. To do apps. How many of us are using Todoist? I've been using Todoist for like 5 years. I'll set up elaborate system. Don't forget about it. I've tried Notion. I have elaborate systems on Notion. Forget about it. There's one platform, any.do. Name the type of to-do app. I have tried it. But then they are not solving my problem. Then one day during Google I/O, Google launched a product. And I was like, that kind of light bulb moment. We can try something. I will tell you the thing I tried towards the end of the talk. Now, we're talking about AI. AI is here for all of our jobs. We've seen it. How many of us have found difficulty getting jobs lately? A lot. Either they are telling you they are not hiring juniors, or they are sacking people en masse because AI is taking all the jobs. But really, is AI taking the jobs? Because if you've been reading the news lately, you will see that a lot of companies are on the hiring spree. I even saw a post recently that there are certain companies who are now hiring interns, juniors, who know how to use AI effectively. So instead of, maybe hiring a couple of seniors, why don't we hire a junior with AI? He'll be able to catch up at the speed of the senior. That is to show you that AI is not really here to take our jobs. It's here to make our jobs easier. Because it's an enabler. We're talking about 20, 25 years experience now. Then, when you want to build your website, okay, clicker. Yeah, awesome. In a same system, it's just USB-C port. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's true. I actually forgot I have that. Thank you. No, it's not touch. How could know they do touch for Mac? Okay. AI is an enabler. Back then, 20, 25 years, if you want to build a website, you go to GeoCities. How many of us remember GeoCities? GeoCities.yahoo.com. I need to stop making all of these references. I look like a grandpa. Back then, GeoCities, in movies, if they are trying to show olden days in movies, that they will show you some funny website with some cartoon that will be dancing. Those are GeoCities back then, where you go on yahoo.com and you pick images, you put everything, you build your website. That was how websites were built before. Then HTML, then CSS. Before CSS3 myself, you do some things. And when you're done, you find a web hosting site, you use cPanel, you upload your website, and you have a website. Life was easy. But as engineers or developers, We don't like easy life. We like making life difficult for ourselves. Then we started introducing a lot more complications, a lot more things. Like people I always have beef with, front-end engineers. Every single day, they are having a new framework that you have to learn to do something very simple. Instead of you to just have your HTML, you have to do npm install. Your npm modules will be like 10 gig, and you do a lot of things just to have a hello world page. That is where we've gone to now. But AI coming is eliminating a lot of friction because building software is more than just writing code. If you look at this iceberg, yeah, writing code is just at the top. But then you have to deal with code reviews. You fight with your engineering manager or your senior. And you didn't put this indentation. You didn't use this standard, etc. Or pipeline failure. Because we no longer upload using cPanel. We now build CI pipelines to deploy the code. Or if you like living on the edge, you SSH into the server yourself and go and make changes on the production site by yourself. Good luck. And we've started dealing with environments, creating environment variables, create environment configurations, deploying clusters, and so on. Dependency here, NPM modules, composer packages, a lot of things. There's hardly any language now that doesn't have some form of dependency. All projects now have dependency because in software engineering, we depend on each other. Someone writes an open source code, publishes it, and so on. There was one bank in the Netherlands that I interviewed with once, and I went on site. The bank completely do not use any external dependency. Everything is built in-house. So if you will work there, you need to understand every part of their code base. That is a lot of work. But most of our projects, we depend on each other. Supply chain security. There was a time, there's this package on NPM, colors, was removed from the NPM repository, and a lot of people's projects started failing. Because they were depending on it, the guy had some issues with the people managing NPM, and he pulled this project off. Then that was when everybody knew, we have a problem with supply chain security when it comes to software engineering. There was one that was done mostly affecting Russia. The person that had the package changed it that whenever they are installing the package, if it detects the IP address to be a Russian IP address, it will execute some commands to delete files on the server. And a whole lot more issue that made pay supply chain to be a major issue that every company takes seriously. Meetings. You're a software engineer. You are in the zone coding. Hey, do you have 15 minutes? Meeting that will turn from 15 minutes to 1 hour to 2 hours. Or you see some people's calendar. Block everywhere. We're like, when do you get time to work? This is part of the job. Because you need to collaborate with people, you need to work with people. So the overhead of writing code is one, cognitive load. You need to think about all of these things. You need, when in your companies, you can have standards. And that standard is, these are the things where we do things. Even down to how you write your commit message. People create Git hooks, whereby if you do not do your commit in a particular, it will reject your push. So all this, for you to think of them. Then coordinating with your colleagues, working with your colleagues. That's a whole different ballgame. Some people are very difficult. That is where autonomous development comes in. And autonomous development isn't just about you opening Cursor or opening ChatGPT and say, hey, write this line of code for. It goes beyond that. The first part is the social layer. All of the tools we use to work, we use for communication. Code is not just in your IDE anymore. It starts maybe from a pull request on GitHub, or if you're using GitLab, from a merge request. You collaborate with your colleagues, define your specs. Software development is not just you going to the IDE anymore. It's first maybe a ticket, for those that call it ticket. A ticket is assigned to you. You need to discuss the details of the ticket. Okay, what needs to be implemented? You need to define the spec. You need to do a lot of things. You need to collaborate with other colleagues to work with QA. You need to work with testing. Because in some companies, you write test, which is standard, you write the test before you write the code. And a lot more needs to be done before you actually write your code. And all of this involves collaboration. And this collaboration takes a toll on people because sometimes you have to wait for things to be done. When you create your issues, you have to read. How many of you have just joined the company freshly? A ticket is assigned to you. You went to start reading the ticket and it has hundreds of comments. People have been arguing and they assigned it to you to work on. Where you want to start from? Now, these are situations where AI comes in. Now, AI, not just for you to be going through all of these discussions, but give you information you need. For example, while I was still at GitLab, they released a feature under GitLab Duo called Discussion Summary. I picked an issue, an open source issue. A lot of people, it's like a feature request from the community and a lot of arguments spanning over 5 years. Where I want to start from? Then there's Duo Chat. And I was like, okay, can you give me a summary of this whole discussion? And we'll itemize 3 of the most upvoted suggestions in it. And it saving me a lot of time. Now, we also now have contextual pull requests. Okay, you're an engineering manager, a senior engineer. And how many times have you seen where someone sends you an MR or PR to review and you see 25 files changed? I'm like, what did this guy do? You understand? But then we now have contextual, AI-powered contextual information that will give you, okay, this is what this person changed. This is what they've done. These are the files they've touched. And this is the change they've introduced. Even now with Git Kraken, how many of us know Git Kraken? They've been around to help you with your managing your Git repository, basically. Anytime you are making a commit, you need to type your commit message, right? Yeah, I did this. Fix, add file, this one and so on. But sometimes those commit messages don't actually reflect the change that have been made. Now, Git Kraken introduced a feature where we just click of a button. It will analyze those changes and write fixes this and this and this and this and this. Then with details of what was done in the commit message. So not just that, even as when you join new companies, one of the difficult parts is onboarding. Having access to large code base. Where do you start from? Or you've been asked to implement a certain feature on a monolith, thousands, even sometimes millions of lines of code. Where you want to start from? But having AI tools that can then tell you, based on the standards that are being used in this organization, this is how the feature should be implemented. This is how this should be done. Now, and even Atlassian, there was a time Atlassian released some of their AI features. One of them, which is Atlassian Ravo, they showed a feature where an executive wanted to go discuss with a customer. And that was the first time the person would be discussing with the customer. And the meeting is like in an hour without knowing anything. So from within the platform, she was able to get a complete executive summary of every discussion, every engagement, every collaboration they've had with that customer. That is where, on the social layer, AI tools goes beyond you just writing code. You see, all of this we've not talked about actually writing the code. It's just all of the things that enable you to be able to move faster when it comes to collaboration. Now then, on automation, this is where the fun happens, DevOps. When you finish writing your code, how do you get it from that your system to production? Everything that it takes. And sometimes when you're doing this, your CI pipeline fails. And you start reading through thousands of lines or go to that specific point like, okay, this job has failed. How do I fix it? Then you get confused. You start disturbing Google, searching everywhere, looking for any blog post, no blog post. But now we have tools. For example, like GitLab has something they call root cause analysis. And root cause analysis basically analyzes your log, then tells you, oh, this is where the issue is from. And this is how you can, not just this is the issue, this is how you can fix it. Should I create a merge request? Then if you say yes, create a merge request. It actually creates a merge request with a fix to the code. You simply review it and you match if it's correct. If it's correct, though, AI can really mess up sometimes before you go and delete your production database. Now, and you have more tools like the AI features of Dynatrace, who not just analyzes your logs, analyzes the metrics and the tracings that is receiving from your application to intelligent predictively tell you, these are things that should be fixed in your code, or these are the changes you need to make to your infrastructure. Now, it's moving you from being just reactive to predictive. Now, there's also a platform, Dr. Droid. I met them at KubeCon London recently. Their own approach to things is different. Intelligently, it's constantly watching your logs, watching the performance of the application to then tell you that, or make a merge request. We notice there is a spike at every Friday in your performance metrics at this time. And this is where the issue is coming from. So I recommend you probably increase your the CPU request of some of your nodes to this or that. Shall I create a merge request for it? Yes, okay. It goes, changes some Terraform files. And so you are not just responding to when issues are happening. Predictively, you are seeing how things will happen. And you are putting fixes for it. Now, for Kubernetes, we have things like ksgpt.io, which is an AI tool that you deploy in Kubernetes. And it will be telling you, you can be able to analyze, get insights about, interact with it. Ask questions about your application, your workloads that are running within the cluster. Instead of you just saying kubectl, okay, logs, this particular workload, you can just ask. It goes, analyze everything, and then tell you, okay, this is how your applications are performing, or some of the things you need to do. Now, then aside from DevOps, normally when you work in your organizations, you want to, there's a new application that is being created, or you want to test something. You either test on your laptop, right? Or if you have test environments already provisioned, you can test on your test environment. But now we are having independent developer platforms where developers don't need to ask again. How many of us have been hearing about platform engineering? Platform engineering, okay? Platform engineering, okay, just 3 hands. Now, let me explain. Platform engineering is where your infrastructure is built in such a way that it's self-serve. Okay, I'm a software developer. I'm building some application for my company that needs GPU resources. Ordinarily, where do you go? You go to your infrastructure team, right? I need these resources. Can you provision them for me on AWS? Then it goes through several approval process, etc., before, this GPU will cost us money, etc., finance will be involved, everybody will be involved. It takes you weeks, it takes you months for you to get that. But with developer platforms, all you probably need to do is to go to some interface and just specify, I need this, and that. It goes through some process and it's automatically provisioned for you. You don't need to talk to anyone, or you might need to talk to some people sometimes. And not just infra, almost anything. Oh, I want to do some experiment. I need a database. I need servers. I need storage. I need this. I need that. So all of these are managed by platform engineers on developer platforms so that you can easily just, it's just like you going to shop. Pick this, pick this, pick this, pick this, pick this, check out. You have everything you need. Or you can create a project and just specify the things you need, and it's there. And with a lot of them introducing AI to it, you can just describe, oh, I want to run a Django application that analyzes pictures that are taken, or let me rephrase the problem. Okay, I have a software I'm building that takes selfies that users have supplied, then analyzes thousands of pictures to pick out pictures where those faces are in. And the AI looks at, okay, for you to do this kind of things, and your work, the pictures you want to analyze are a million pictures, you need these resources, you need that resources, and so on. Should I provision them? Yeah, it connects to the IDP. The IDP is connected via third parties to all the different platforms. There are tools, I forgot to add one, cross-plane. Cross-plane works with Kubernetes. It connects to service, it connects to AWS, it connects to all these providers. And automatically, from one single request, you can have all of these resources. While you, the developer, just needs to worry about your code and what your code needs. Now, if these are some of the things powering PaaS, we have infrastructure as a service, software as a service, there's platform as a service, which is where you are not worrying about the underlying infrastructure. You just push your application just runs. How it's run concern you. Your owner, you say they run. So all of these are are powered by independent developer platforms. And if you want to build your own, for example, Spotify, we're experimenting within their company. And at the end of the day, they built what is called Backstage, which is an open source developer platform. You can be able to build your own internal developer platform, integrate it with different platforms that you use in your organization, and your developers can easily provision any resources that they want. Imagine having your own AWS within your organization, and your users can easily pick and choose what they need to get their job done without having to reach out to anyone. And we also have others like Port.io. We have open source ones like KCP. And if your organization is into Kubernetes, the Kubernetes resource model allow you to tweak your Kubernetes clusters and automatically provision resources as much as possible. Too much English. But majorly, with AI, with independent developer platforms, getting access to what you need to do your work becomes much more easier. Just a question away. Oh, I need this and that, a narrative away. You're able to provision anything. Because your platform is already connected to everything. It's connected to AWS. It's connected to your database. It's connected to this or that. So just one, I want to deploy a Django app. It already knows what you need. And it provisions them for you. Now, but then this gives rise to something more interesting lately. Because the AI can almost touch everything for you, if coordinated properly, you can get things starting for almost any app you want to build. How many of us have been hearing about micro SaaS? Micro SaaS is a software as a service that can be built. You can build any software, so maybe a ticketing platform or an events platform, or maybe your food ordering service. If you want to build all of these things, you need a team. You need software, front-end engineer, back-end engineer, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, all of them engineer, or full-stack engineer with a couple of people. But now, with AI as an enabler, we are now having people creating micro SaaS quickly. They are offering a service. Oh, in my area, there's no food ordering service, and there are lots of restaurants. Let me quickly create something that will connect to a developer platform, have all the resources needed, and I'm running my service. There are payment gateways that can be connected to. There are a lot of collaboration software that can be connected to. There are lots of things that can be connected to. When my errors are occurring in my application, there's an AI agent that is checking and analyzing and telling me and recommending fixes for me to fix. There is the DevOps platform, my CI building and everything. There's an AI agent or AI tool that is not doing everything for you. I'm mentioning code again. That is analyzing and showing me and telling me all of these things. That I can quickly create something, create solutions to problems. And It's also creating, aside from a solopreneur, it's also creating the autonomous developer. All right. Okay, for example, there's I've forgotten his name, but he writes this content under the pragmatic engineer. How many of us have a pragmatic engineer on LinkedIn? Uh-huh. He recently posted something that, okay, he spoke with a company, and there seems to be a rise, like I mentioned earlier, of companies who are hiring junior engineers. Previously they said, they are not hiring interns, they are looking for senior engineers. But now they've seen the trend whereby they are hiring junior engineers and then setting up the necessary AI tools for those junior engineers to be able to deliver much more. So you, as an engineer, empowered by AI, becomes basically an autonomous developer. You are able to craft solutions. You are not just writing code anymore. Code is just a small part, like we saw in the iceberg earlier. It's just the tip of the iceberg. The rest of the things that you need to be productive, that you need to be able to deliver solutions, is what AI now enables you to do. Because you are not just writing code, you need to have a vision for a problem you want to solve. Like I said, I mentioned the problem I had earlier. We'll still talk about the solution. You need to have that vision. You need to have product sense. For example, I was discussing with a friend, like, in the startup ecosystem in Nigeria now, everybody's creating startup. And some startup, wow, this is nice. But what problem are you actually solving? There are lots of startups like that. It's nice. They have fancy design, fancy everything. Their engineering teams are rock stars. But if you now look at it, what problem are you actually solving? None. So having that product sense to be able to solve problems for users is also critical. And also ability to architect complex systems. AI can try for you, but there are stages it will get to where it will mess up whatever it is that you are building. So if you don't know how to architect a system, for example, it's whatever you give AI to do that it will do. It's how you prompt it, how you tell it to do things. That will give you the best performance. That is why we now have prompt engineering. So if you don't have that system building mindset to be able to tell it, okay, I want to do this. I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. Then the AI can leverage that to build what you want. But if you just tell it to do things, it will look for the easiest way out. There was a time someone was bragging online. He was able to build a, a SaaS software in 48 hours. And then, like a week later, please help. My software has been hacked. Why are you people doing this? Because he left everything for the AI to do, and the AI just did what he can do. And you see a lot of the AI softwares now, they'll put a warning. Please review your code. The AI can make mistakes. There was one recently that the AI was doing some things that then it prompted, yeah, I've deleted the production database. It deleted it because maybe it's the database and it deleted. So that is where we are getting to now, that we are not just software engineers who write code, we are now autonomous developers. Now, let's get back to my problem, my procrastination problem in the beginning. I know, like they said in the intro, I like to over engineer things. So one day, when Google was launching, did I lose? Okay. When Google launched, there's Firebase already. Firebase is their platform as a service where you can create resources for your application. Everything your application needs, basically. Everything your application needs, like database, like authentication, file, functions, etc. And you can even deploy your application. Then they've been working on Project IDX. They call it Project IDX, which is now Firebase Studio, where you can code directly inside Firebase. Then they added AI to it, including a prototyper. The moment they launched it, me that to just fix my productivity, buy book and make 40 leave and big biro and write what I need to do down. And I decided, what if I build an AI assistant? that will be like a productivity coach, not just a to-do list, a productivity coach that will say, in the morning, these are the things you're supposed to do. And it won't be edging me on like, you are doing a great job today. You do so tasks and so on. You understand? Then and I started, okay, then maybe I can add project management to it. Then maybe I can add my shopping list to it. Then maybe I can add a reminder. And then I ended up with this prompt. Can you read it? It's too long. Basically, I said, okay, let's build a personal assistant app with the following features. Okay, the stack that you should use is I would like the app to be built with Next.js. I know Sabi Next.js, so I just say, make I test the AI, see, maybe it will make me learn Next.js. Okay, and Flutter for Android, use the Firebase stack. This will allow me to learn about these tools. I know Firebase, but I don't know Next.js. I've not written anything. I can read it, it's JavaScript, but I don't know how to do anything inside. The Android app, we've not built our full stack yet, so we are already saying the Android app should have a widget that I can put on my home screen. Then, much later, I would like a Mac app. So let's put it in consideration for design and architectural decisions. Talk about over-engineering. Then in the dashboard and overview, on opening the app on dashboard or on my phone in the morning, I should have an idea of what my day looks like with options to move things around. I will share the slide to you. This is too tiny. I just wanted to dump the whole prompt so that you all see how far it went. Then I also added journal. I should be able to maintain a daily journal of my thoughts and where possible, link relevant tasks and events. Reminders. I should be able to have reminders that are not necessarily tasks or events. See, just instead of me to just do to-do list, though, see all the things I'm writing. Shopping list. I want to maintain a shopping list that can be organized in different folders. Task. Help with task management. Tasks are organized into projects, which are also organized into focus areas. Task statuses can be to do, doing, done, later. Dates and times can be assigned to tasks. Some tasks can be multi-day, where parts of the task can be completed in parts across multiple days. Notes can be added to tasks for documentation. Priorities can be assigned to tasks using the Eisenhower matrix. How many of us know the Eisenhower matrix? Yeah. Then calendar. The app integrates with multiple calendars and presents a single view for all events. New events can be scheduled with the necessary calendar selected. Appointments. The app will have appointment pages where people can book time with me and they have to check for availability. Basically, I want to put, what's the name of this app that they use for Calendly? I want to put Calendly inside. Where and the app will check availability across all of my calendars. Appointment types can be different, can have different calendars that their calendar events can be booked on. People should be able to rebook and cancel appointments. Then, if there are any other nice improvements or ideas that will make me productive, please add. I'm a procrastinator. I want to use the app to be better. Let's call the app Phonics Assistant. I sat down, I wrote all of this, then I gave it to the AI. And I ended up with this. It's not just, let me show you inside the Firebase Studio. It's not just a to-do list anymore. It's now like a dashboard, a productivity operating system. And you can see one of the widgets on the home screen here is what I call your current vibe. It takes all of my tasks, it takes all of my notes, give it to Gemini, and Gemini will now return with what my state of mind is like at that moment. Well, for example, like here he's saying, it looks like you have a lot on your plate with several important deadlines coming up soon. Quick tip, try focusing on that high priority task first. Finishing it will build great momentum for the rest of your day. Now, recently, I was like, instead of me to be going to my to-do list and be looking for what, when, there's this thing, people who are procrastinators like me, you have a list of to do. In the morning, you will not sit down and be looking at it. Which one should I do first? Then I decided, let's have today page. The today should go and look for all the tasks that are due that day, and those that are doing also include them. And I ended up having this. And then any reminders that I have for that day, put it. Put my current vibe. Then daily highlights. Daily highlights are like things I want to majorly focus on that day. So like, even if I don't do anything else, I do that one. And then my schedule from all of my calendars. I have plenty calendars, put all of them. But the beautiful part of this is focus session. Focus session is like, okay, if I click on this button, it will ask me, for how many minutes do you want to focus? Okay, 25 minutes. How many minutes break after 25 minutes? 5 minutes. Then let's start. What it's doing here is picking my task, then analyzing the task to then tell me, do this. You understand? It will analyze the task. You see, review project and plan future. This is a fantastic goal. Planning on the future key growth. Then do this specific thing so that if you have a very big task, the difficult part is, what is that small part that I will just do now to move this thing forward? This. And all of this, going back to what I was talking about, solopreneur. This is a platform I can sell because it's not just a to-do app anymore. It even has one of the sample prompts okay, in this place, we were actually debugging. You see, we're still having the split issue. I see this time delimiter issue split, and so on. Then like, oh, it likes apologizing. I'm sorry. This has been incredibly frustrating and protracted process, and you have every right to be upset. This split error, we were on it for like 10 times. It will say it has fixed it. I have done and analyzed the whole application, and this is the final test. You go and test again. It is still another issue. There was one error that I had at one point where it tried and tried and tried. And because I don't know Next.js, I like, wait, let me go back to old school. Ask Google. I went to see, Ask Google is now old school. I now went to Google and asked, and actually it's a version issue with a recommendation that someone provided on GitHub. And like, I'm not going to do the work. Now here I go do the work. I copy the recommendation and give. So is that one taking our job? It's not taking any job. But look what I was able to build. All and so on. I even bought a domain name for it. I submitted all the necessary, if you want to integrate like calendar in Google and you want to make it available, Google will make you go through verification and a lot of other things because you'll be accessing people's private calendar. I went through all that just to have the application. And if I want to start selling this now, I can. See, I even went as far as on the dashboard, put based on my city that I have set, tell me the weather, because sometimes I won't go out and like, what's even the weather today? 15 degrees. It's not here. In the settings, it's Rotterdam that it says here. I'll say Lagos 15 degrees. And a lot of other regions, including work log. If you work on remote teams, the frustrating part is I've worked on a team before. My manager is in New York. My closest colleague is in Germany. Like, we are all scattered around. Now imagine anytime you want to book an appointment or a meeting, you have to start thinking of work clock. I'm like, why do I need to be stressing myself when AI can do something? Create a work clock feature. And this feature not only tells me time in every place, I can actually select a particular city and a time and pick cities and it will tell me time. You see, for example, here, I want to pick a date, maybe October 15 at 1:42, and the source time zone is Lagos. Then, what is the time in all the other places? This is very handy. I don't do anything here. Now the AI build, what I told it, what exactly to do, how to do it, where to place everything. So that is the thing with AI as an enabler. It's not taking your job. You are the driver. For example, wait first. How many minutes do I have left before I keep rambling and rambling? I'm a talkative. Talk. Since nobody talk, I still have time. Okay. Okay, for those that don't know, to use cruise control, most cars have it. You might not even notice. It's usually like the dialer then with an arrow. That's what the sign is like. You can set cruise control once you're at a speed. You set cruise control and it will hold that speed. You can remove your leg from the accelerator. And it will maintain that speed. Now, if you now have cars that has things like lane keep assist, that has collision, this one, all that one, it will be almost like you are driving an autonomous car. Okay, the SUV I was driving with the family it has lane keep assist, it has sensors, it has a lot of things. I've never tested that. They were like, maybe I cruise one cruise, make a test down. It was night time, so there was not a lot of traffic. As soon as we were going, then I noticed the speed was dropping. I was like, waiting happen. And then I noticed the car in front of us was actually slowing down. So the SUV saw that the car was slowing down, so it started dropping its own speed. And as soon as the person turned, it pushed the speed back up. And because it has lane keep assist, as I was driving, my hand was just like, we were just gisting. Then I noticed I was going out of lane, then it pushed me back up. Then after some time, to nothing like a guy holds steering. You understand? So almost fully autonomous. All I needed was paper. And truth be told, most days when I wake up, I will still carry paper. Write all of my to-dos. Thank you. Write all of my to-dos. Then I'll still come and put them here because force of habit. But having this still pushes me like, okay, let me add this. Let me do this. Let me add more of these features. And if you want to create a startup, this is a startup me that can log in for now. Before no go and log in anyhow. Maybe they no go hack and delete my database. This is like AI builder. I never test everything. This is on Google Cloud Run. Just publish here. It pushed the application live. If you don't have any bugs, I dealt with a lot of bugs. If you don't have any bugs, it's almost like what do they call this? No code. No code. From you prompting, testing and everything to publish. And even when you have errors, so that's just to show you that we have a lot of these tools. You can PRD for product people, product requirements documents. Be as detailed as possible. Prototype. The first thing it will do is to show you the design, show you what it will look like. If you like it, you start building from there. And you can collaborate. I can share this with you. You come in the way you do in Google Doc that everybody's arrow will be moving up and down. You can do the same thing here, which is collaboration. And as soon as you are done, you see, it has finished fixing the error. If it's fine, I can see it will reload this page. And if everything is fine, I publish something for yourself as a solopreneur. Even the business side and all the other things can be enabled with AI. So, my time is up already. Thank you very much.